Let's see what happens.
What did we decide my name was? Okay.
Claire, I pick a last name. Mine is Breeze.
Okay.
It's streaming.
Okay. Hello, if you're joining us, thank you so much. I'm one of two lovely co-hosts of what is now known as the eastern, northeastern / western half of the upper north quadrant of the United States' most popular advice show. I'm Claire Squall, and my co-host, lovely as she is going to make an entrance.
Claire, you're so specific. My God, it's like, so what? We're the best, so what?
Well, I take a certain amount of pride in the incredible leaps we've made since starting out as the tawdry second most popular advice show in the Eastern Bay, Western Pacific, northern half of Canada / United States region. And now look at us, we've grown so much.
I maintain tawdry was a good look for us, but let me tell you something, Claire. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy that we're together, and everything else is like, so what? I don't even care, so what?
That carefree attitude is what our listeners respond to, our watchers respond to so much.
Yeah.
Whereas I am known, of course, as the soothing voice warrior.
Yeah.
I concern myself with all things.
Well, Claire, you're always so much about details, but I don't know if you let everyone know this is Bottoms Up. Bottoms Up, everybody. Hi.
Look at me.
Okay.
Typical
So,
losing the forest from the trees.
yes, this is the show where you call in, or maybe you've asked us your questions in advance, sent them in, and we answer, we give advice, and we drink because we're human. We like to have a good time.
We are only human. We are nothing better than human, and we are certainly sometimes subhuman.
Sometimes
if I could be honest with you.
Not so much on TV, but sometimes we're tawdry.
Oh, yes, we are.
We're not above it. We're not. We give a full range of life here. We live a full range of life, and we give a full range of advice. So what? So what? We don't leave anything out. We don't leave anything out.
Oh, so true. So true. You are quite delightfully and sometimes shockingly unedited, and that's wonderful. It's part of what our viewers respond to.
Well, cheers to that, Claire. Cheers to that. And now I just want to recap on some of the questions we had last week. Last week, Jamie called us about her friend who was a Pisces and was in this sort of friendship with this guy. And I don't know if you all watched Bottoms Up last week, but she was a Pisces, Jamie, her friend, in a relationship with this guy. And it's a friendship, ostensibly, but she knows that he's in love with her. She knows.
Can we just say, is there any greater oxymoron than the word friendship when applied to a guy? I mean, it's either some sort of competitive, who's got the pants on, sort of domineering, like give and take sort of situation, or it's coitus.
It's like, so what? No one ever means that. If you're sexually attracted to each other, and gender is irrelevant. Let us just say here on Bottoms Up, we are friends of everyone, okay? Gender is irrelevant. That's number one. Number two, let's get back to Jamie's friend. I'm just going to call it Jamie because Jamie called in. So this is Jamie's question. Now,
poor lost Jamie.
The guy, Jamie, feels is in love with her, and she is not in love with him, but she likes spending all this time with him, and she doesn't want to tell him she's not in love with him because he's not asking, and she feels, why ruin a good thing? Why ruin a good thing?
Can I just tell you that I'm going to reiterate what I said last week. I believe there is no, and I know this is contrary to your point of view, I believe there is no such thing as balance or karma or equilibrium. I believe there is only the eternal struggle of power dominance games. And I believe that at any given time, if you are comfortable, then you have given up too much of your power. And that's what I believe Jamie did.
Yeah, well, Claire, we know that. I take a little bit of a different stance, as you alluded to, okay? I think if you want to fuck, you should be fucking. Okay, so what? You want to fuck? You're young? Maybe you're not young. But we're alive one time that we know for sure. And you should be having a good fucking time by fucking. Okay?
Let me stop and heartily agree with you on that, because I do believe
Yes.
you should be
Cheers,
fucking.
cheers to where we agree,
We do
Claire.
agree, we do.
Yeah.
I just simply see that as an active seizure of power, a pro penis move. You are saying, hey, I am not intimidated by your phallus or figurative phallus, depending on, it doesn't matter what sex here. I am asserting myself, and I don't care enough about you to worry about the consequences of my sleeping with you long term. That's what I see it. I see it as an act of liberation, but also an act of letting go.
Well, you know, Claire, I couldn't agree more. And that's why cheers to where we're in agreement. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much. Here on Bottoms Up, Claire and I don't always agree. Sometimes we arrive to the same perspective from different avenues as we did here.
Mhm.
And that's why this is such an interesting show, because you're going to get it real. We're drinking. We're keeping it real. Okay, so what? We speak our minds. So what? I don't mind.
I would like invite you to imagine the most brash, bold butterfly on earth with not a thought in their head, and then the homely caterpillar, murky toned but domineering, strategic, building cocoons. That's sort of the schism that I imagine it.
Oh, Claire, a message is coming in from Jamie herself. She says we've missed the point because her friend doesn't want to be fucking that guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's
Sure.
given up too much power. If you decide you want to fuck, you have to also decide that you do not care if it does not work out.
Well, she
Or-
wants to be friends with him. She wants to hang out with him all the time. She doesn't
That's a
want to be
problem.
fucking him, please. What is the problem? Okay, Jamie, you're gonna have to give us a little more detail on why the hell not.
If
They're
there is
alive.
one thing
They're
that we
red-blooded.
both believe is that there is no such thing. Once there is a sexual attraction established on any level, there is no such thing as friendship until that has been explored or one of us has lost their genitalia.
You
There's
know,
no
Claire,
in
I
between.
myself recently gave my number to a new friend, and I don't want to fuck him either. You know, that's what I'm saying. We're just friends. We work together. We're just friends.
Mhm.
That's how that goes.
But if you were to do the dirty, so to speak, what I would recommend is that you first resolve to yourself, I could never see this guy again. I don't care how much he makes my workday brighter. If I resolve to want to fuck him, I have resolved that I do not care. Because the minute you care,
Yes.
the power is transferred.
Yes, Claire. Yes. And you know what I feel is the second I feel that desire coursing through my body, the decision has been made. Okay? I'm alive. I like sex. So what?
See, now if I were to decide, for example, that I saw this James gentleman and I was very interested in a long-term relationship with him, I might decide to myself, I do care, and therefore I would not give up the power and I would not have sex with him so that I could try and assure our long-term prospects. And that would mean that I do not give up a valuable playing card in the future.
That would also mean you don't have any sex.
It does often mean that. That is often how that translates. But often other times I decide, this guy is grubby and disgusting. He has a stain on the front of his shirt and another one near the fly of his pants. And then I decide, it does not matter if I never see him again. Even if he is my boss, I will have sex with him.
Oh, you see, yeah, I see that. Well, that's why I like ladies mostly, because they're well kept. I like that about a lady. They're well kept.
You do hang out in some of the classier casinos of the region, so
Well,
yeah.
no, I like my spots. What can I say? It's Wheel of Fortune all the way. So what? It's my money. I'll gamble with it, Ma. So what?
Speaking of which, have you been hearing about the controversy surrounding both Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune?
You know, I'm going to stop you right there, Claire, while you're telling us this controversy, which sounds very important. I just want to say, Danielle is watching. She's a messaging us. Danielle, why don't you go ahead and send us in your questions? If you send them by text, that's okay too, okay? Go ahead and send us in a question. We're going to answer it for you, girlfriend. Now, Claire, tell us about this very important conspiracy theory, please.
Here's the conspiracy. People have said a bunch of shit in their lives that they regret. Unfortunately, they do that on the internet. Also, people get old and don't have an immediate, white male to take over for them, and that power vacuum is felt very acutely by everyone on Earth, apparently. So those are my two twin-headed prongs of aging on daytime game show television. which I thought I would bring up because here we are, two extraordinarily competent television hosts who have never once been asked to host either Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy.
You know,
Either Wheel of Fortune.
I think what is very important, okay, that we discuss at this time is the fact that men, they host something, they get laid left and right, okay? You see a pretty lady like me, maybe like Claire, you might think to yourself, so what? She's never gonna fuck me. We're gonna fuck you. Well, Claire might not, but I'm gonna fuck you, okay?
Oh, I will, so long as you are sordid and dirty and I want nothing to do with you ever.
That's true. If you're a scrub, call Claire. If you're a little bit above, a cut above, if you will, call
But
Camilla.
which of us absorbs the bigger blow when it doesn't work out? I would tell you, it is almost certainly always Miss Breeze here.
You know, I fall in love, okay? I have sunshine in my heart, so what? I have sunshine in my heart. I see a human, I want to get in their pants, and I want to give them the love of my heart, okay? This is why when somebody says, hey, I'm an asshole, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a shitty partner, I'm not going to fuck you, okay? I'm not going to fuck you, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to fuck you, because I have to be able to be vulnerable. I have to be able to show you the love that's in my heart, Claire, and I know that you don't believe in this whole power thing, but I just saying, like, I want to feel all of the feelings.
I do.
So
And I love your willingness to put yourself out there and frequently be rebuffed in a tragic and often stinging and enduringly stinging way. Whereas I'm buffeted on a cloud of numbness from one meaningless fling to another with no hope of ever forming a lasting bond. But I'll tell you what, here's the one thing.
Yeah.
Just like the Russian Soviet scholars used to posit back in the day, life is an eternal struggle between distinct classes, and the classes are not having to do with socioeconomic status. They're having to do with how much power do I have, and that's penis power,
That's number one.
or like whatever we want to use. It's the proactive genitalia power. It is I am owning my genitalia and I am not afraid. That power versus people who are very afraid and are vulnerable.
You know, I feel the power. I feel it in my pants.
You have a lot of power, but you also give it away.
Thank you, Claire.
You're like a profligate child.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have a lot of power.
You have a lot of power.
A lot of it's, you know, centrally located. So
seemingly indefatigable amount of power.
Yeah.
Just throw into a garbage fire whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, thank you. Because, you know, I just think that.
And I salute you. I do. I salute you.
Thank you. You know, and I just wanted to throw this out to everyone out there. If you're watching us, if you're on the internet, if you're watching us, go ahead and send in your questions. Because as much as I like Claire, we're here to answer questions. We want to give you some advice, okay? So go ahead, if you're listening, you're watching somewhere, send us your questions. Text it to me, text it to Claire, whatever.
My first cousin, I know you met her, Mary Beth. She sent me an email inquiring, I have a rather ghastly countenance, one that most men would find unattractive, except if I choose to exploit the kink market. In which case, these are men
one of our favorite
specifically looking for an encounter with somebody who is conventionally labeled as homely, right?
Okay, now what kind of countenance did you say that she had? And I'm sorry, you know, I have a question. So what? What is a countenance?
Oh, it's a face. It's a face or an aspect, a look, presented, a front that you present to the universe. Hers is of a whiskered.
Oh, so she's like, she has a cat fetish. She thinks she's a cat.
No, she has literal whiskers.
Oh.
They're just spread.
You know what I found? Okay, in the fetish community, I've dabbled. What I found is that the old saying is true. There's an ass for every seat, okay? If you have it, somebody out there fucking loves it. They fucking want it. Bring it to the fucking table. Own your shit, okay?
So her fear is this, that she wants to be the best version of herself she can be, and she fears that somebody who fetishizes her for the grimmest aspects of her personality and countenance or appearance would encourage her to, in fact, look worse, be worse, because that gets them off. So it would be, in fact, a destructive relationship, despite being one
I'm
based on mutual attraction. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, this is my advice. I'm going to put it out there. Okay. I would say try all the markets then. Try, don't just fish in one pond. Okay.
She really pretty much has one pond.
Oh,
Just the one.
well,
Well, she could date somebody, I guess, also horrifically disfigured in this way.
okay, but
Not disfigured, but whiskery,
well, why are whiskers so limiting, Claire? I mean, what kind of whiskers are we talking here?
Have you ever seen long, silver, strident, tough, coarse hairs, just like walrus style?
I'm picturing Helen Mirren here. So what?
It looks like she's an alien. I mean, it doesn't look right. God,
I'm not
once
sure
again, my
if
unconscious
Is
bias.
the problem her confidence or the problem that, and what's someone going to encourage? Grow your whiskers longer? I don't know that I see a problem here.
Well, grow your whiskers longer. Say that you're trying to get a job as a lifeguard. You can't get the whistle close enough to your
Okay.
face.
Do they grow longer? Like, is getting
They
worse?
grow very long.
Getting worse. Okay. So she
Luxuriant.
the problem then. So then maybe nobody has to know. Maybe someone.
She won't shave them. Because she's worried that she'll lose her audience with the community that loves her. But
okay.
Every morning she wakes up with a new growth, and anybody who was to wake up there would be very
this down for you, Claire.
surprised.
I can't fucking help you if you won't fucking help yourself. Okay? So make a commitment to the whiskers one way or the fucking other. There's an ass for every seat, my friend. If you want to keep your whiskers, go for it. You want them long, go for it. You want them short, go for it. You want to shave them, go for it. One way or the other, go for it. But you know what? You can't just be scared of the dating pool. You can't just say, I'm going to put myself out there. Someone's going to encourage me in a negative way. Has she put herself out there? What is the exact problem that she's running into? Because what I'm hearing here is a hypothetical, and I'm thinking, so fucking what?
You know what? I will give credit where credit's due. Mary Beth, you do need to decide whether you truly want to be a lifeguard. Because if I had to guess, I would say you don't. I don't think you do.
Oh, lifeguard. They sit up there on that little ladder. You can hardly see what's
She keeps using that as an
right?
example for why she might need a closer shave. I just, in truth, do you need that whistle near your mouth? I don't think you do.
Mary Beth, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot.
That's right. Even if that pod is incredibly destructive.
And Mary Beth, once you make a decision, give us a call back here at Bottoms Up, because we're in agreement, and I say cheers to that, Claire. Bottoms up.
I'll give you this, but Mary Beth does not like to use the phone. She communicates almost exclusively through little rat taps on her.
Okay, well, give us a tap tap. Also, Claire, what I'm noticing here on Bottoms Up is that I can't tell how empty your glass is. I don't know if I'm outpacing you, if I should be drinking.
Oh no, I am drinking at a very steady clip. I would describe myself as 1.5, possibly 2 full drinks in. I just made what they call a long pour.
Well, that's very nice.
If I were to drink all of this, well, I'll say this, it would tranquilize a baby elephant.
I've received a question here. I've not read it yet. So internet, Twitch TV, wherever you're watching, just bear with me. I've not read it yet, okay? Now, my mom, this is from Danielle. I said Danielle sent us a question. Danielle went ahead and sent us a question. Nice lady. Why don't the rest of you fucking go ahead and also send us a fucking question now?
Or don't, Shit or get off the pod.
We don't care. We don't care. I don't care. Do I look like I fucking care? I don't care. Now I'm going to talk to you about fucking Danielle, okay? Love Danielle. My mom had a dream that all of the plumbing in her boyfriend's house exploded. She has been a bit on the fence about continuing the relationship. Does this dream smell doomed? Okay, you know what, Claire, I'm just going to take it right here.
Okay.
What I'm hearing is that her mom is worried about a botched vasectomy. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh my God. I had the exact opposite impulse. I was thinking this man is very, or we're very well endowed, and what we're talking about is an ovary blower.
Can you overblow?
I believe that's a legitimate panic that women feel, especially when they're feeling vulnerable.
Wow.
Have you been kicked recently in your ovaries, Danielle, or is your friend? Is a question.
Her mom. Right? It's her mother.
It's her mother. Oh, yes, and she's definitely been. most women of a certain age have been kicked in the ovaries at least once or twice, and then there becomes this fear that they're very weak and susceptible.
Well, I think the first thing we need to know, Danielle, is does this man have a vasectomy? And is your mom worried about getting pregnant? I don't know how old you are. I don't know your mother how old she is, but I think that this is very important for interpreting the dream, because if it's not possible, if he doesn't have a vasectomy, or if she's maybe past the time where she thinks it's an option, oh, she's more of an ovary kicker herself. She's a tough lady. Okay, so
I like that.
I think
That's
she's
wonderful. Cheers to her, keeping her power.
maybe she's worried about, that's why I like to date ladies, because you know what? Men, sometimes they come in, they're like a bull in a fucking china shop. And I said, so what? I don't want to fucking deal with that. So what?
Camilla, can we take a moment, Camilla, and just cheers where we agreed that yes, we both interpreted this dream as to be incredibly portentous of some deep-seated womb panic of some variety.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And cheers to that. And I just want to say for our audience, you know, it's bad luck not to drink after a cheers clip. I just want to say for our audience, if you're just tuning in, this is a very raunchy, very tawdry episode of Bottoms Up. Sometimes it happens. We drink, so what? We drink. Sometimes it happens, okay? This is a very tawdry episode. I personally am feeling very raunchy tonight. I'm going to admit that. So what? I'm going to admit it, okay?
Later today, we're going to do our top
don't have
5.
to be raunchy, and if you're like, hey, Camilla, stop it with the fucking sex talk all the time. Maybe I'll knock it off, maybe I won't. So what?
She won't.
But you know what? It's your right. It's your right. And if you're uncomfortable right now, then turn the fucking internet off, okay? You don't
Honestly,
have to fucking watch. So what?
I would understand and support you if you did. Sometimes I wish I could. Later tonight, though, we will be revealing our top 5 sex positions. They are all unconventional and all named after animals. So stay tuned for that. They have nothing to do with real life in reality, but they are named after animals. So.
You know, sometimes when I'm falling asleep, I just like to sit there and dream about the koala. But that's just me. That's just me.
Well, let me tell you, the tree kangaroo.
Ooh.
It's a doozy.
Okay.
That's a
And if
spoiler.
I'm in the right mood, Claire, the sloth.
Okay, well, no offense, I'm always in the mood for the sloth. And that comes back down to the power imbalance. In a sexual congress, you want to make sure that you are only committing at maximum equally as much as your dance partner is committing. If he doesn't want to rumba, you don't rumba for him or her or they or anybody.
Let's do a deep dive here. I think it's time. Deep dive. Okay, bottoms up, deep dive time. It's time. So what? Okay.
Dissect my brain. Okay.
Okay. This is an important topic of conversation, because this is what I feel. Now, I'm just going to admit something to you here, audience. Okay, between me and you. I feel I can bring the fucking party in the bedroom. Okay, you don't have to be excellent. I'll bring the if you are excellent, fireworks, girl. You know what I'm saying? It's fireworks. But I'll bring the fucking party. So you just show up and be decently ready to go.
Audience, may I just take a moment to interject to say that please do not mistake the boisterous and gregarious attitude of my co-host to mean that she is more entertaining or energetic in the bedroom area. I believe the saying is that she may be a lady in the streets, but a freak between the sheets, and that's I.
No, Claire, cheers to that. Cheers.
We agree. When we agree, we agree.
We agree, we cheers. That's what we do here. Thank you so much. Danielle, thank you so much for your question. I think for me, what it boils down to is the fact that your mother needs to explore her feelings about maybe having or not having a younger sibling for you. But I think really it's not a deal breaker yet. But if this becomes a recurring dream, we're going to want to hear about it, because we're going to need to analyze all the details of that, right?
I choose via wishful thinking to believe that she is engaged with somebody who is so sexually forceful and fruitful, that they literally constitute a buster, the breaker, a breaker downer of all the internal walls of the ovaries. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that would be great. Whoever
I'm gonna
can
cheers
for
to
that
that.
kind of
I'm gonna
force.
fucking drink to the sexual dynamo that is your mother's voice.
That's what I want. I want that to be the case. My choice is that these fears be from just wonderful and productive and exciting sex life, and that it's just you bearing witness to yourself.
Okay.
You know?
Now, I know that you all know that we've been through this pandemic and not everyone has had the good fortune to have a lot of sex, right? And so we did get a question from the lovely Andrea. I have a question from Andrea here. Oh, I'm so glad there's more people here to discuss this. Now, Andrea has not had sex since before the pandemic, and she's not dated. She feels, quite frankly, it's sort of out of her repertoire. And she wants to get back in there, and she just wants to know what you and your friend here think about that.
This is Avery the Install. He is here to voice some of the pent-up frustrations felt by many of our viewers. I would be so down for that, but I would have no idea where to start. I'd be so scared. I honestly don't know how to touch another human being, and I never did, and I use COVID as an excuse.
Okay, well, I brought a little friend myself. First of all, I thank Avery for his vulnerability. Okay, so what? He tells the truth. So fucking what? I do too. So what? Okay. I want to thank you, Avery, for coming on, for your vulnerability. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere if you don't want to. It's up to you. No pressure. Okay. This is my friend Jess. Jess tells the fucking future. Okay. When I want to know, does something feel good or something feel bad? I put my hand here on Jess's head, on his hair, or her hair, or their hair. You know, Jessica's ungendered, okay? Use whatever fucking pronouns you want, just don't care. I put my hand there, and I think to myself about the question, and I receive an answer. It's a psychic connection Jessica and I have. I tune to nature. Jessica and I are in alignment on this one. Jessica says, get out there and fuck. So what?
Avery is already feeling emasculated just from the very presence of Jess.
Okay, well, Avery lives an emasculated existence. I'm going to be honest.
Avery says, I'm sorry. I don't appreciate when you say that. That seems very rude. I honestly, I'm just dripping with sexual potency, and please just note that.
You know, Avery, you are, and if you are involuntarily celibate, I'm sorry for you. But you know, if the potency was there, it would be translated through the energy of the world. That's just my opinion. If other people would pick up on it, it wouldn't be only you. So maybe you're not putting down what you think you're putting down. I'm not personally picking it up, but so what? You know, you get out there, you do your thing.
Do you want to be my Rosetta Stone?
No. Okay. No. Get the fuck out of here.
Poor guy. God, he just lives. It's one of the hardest tasks I have to do is to shepherd this poor man through whatever eighth region of circle of hell it is to be just a hypothetically powerful but super impotent white male.
Well, that does sound uncomfortable. I'm gonna drink to that. So
yeah. It's a discomfort that's well earned, though. I think
a little refill break.
Need a refresh?
A refresh. Well, you know, I'm a little empty. I don't know if anyone's gonna call in for more advice, Claire, but I'm really enjoying this time together.
Well, we don't have to, you know, all we have to do is do our top 10 sex positions.
Oh, yeah, 5 for you, 5 for me. Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to mention that there's an urgent warning about a hurricane coming through the area tonight. Never before has a hurricane been seen so far up north and near Quebec, but there it is. It's coming, and it's bearing gummy bears.
Well, you know, Claire, I'm doing what I always do during a hurricane. Shrooms and orgies. Okay, you want to come over? We're gonna be having a good time at my house. We're gonna ride it out. Oh, what? We're gonna ride it out. So what?
Last time I came over there was an unorthodox crew of miscreants and deviants, and I had a very good time. So thank you very much.
Cheers to that. That's how we do here at the Breeze household. Thank you very much. Cheers to that. So what?
But I will continue to insist that we do a quick homily to Karl Marx before we begin the festivities.
Karl Marx like Sharon. I like fucking Sharon. So what?
Class inequality.
Thank you.
Distribution of power. That's all I'm saying.
Also, if anyone has any advice on the best way to eat mushrooms before an orgy, please do call in with that, okay? Our number, if you don't have it, it's 312-878-8520. This is the American number, the United States of America. You're going to have to dial Country code is 1. Okay, if
If
you're
you're
calling
Canadian?
international, now we have fans everywhere. Country code is 1. If you're Canadian, we're in Canada. But we have a United States-based number. We're very international. I grew up there. What can I say? You
We
can't
are
fucking
based
tell
on
I
the
grew up
tip
there.
of
Okay, I'm
Niagara
not super
Falls.
fucking friendly like a fucking Canadian. So fucking what? Okay, so fucking what?
We live near Buffalo, New York. It's a real problem, actually.
I don't think I'm a fucking pro. You think I'm a fucking pro?
Sometimes honestly I would say yes, that you're a bit of a loose cannon, and I'll say this. I think your
That
advice
was
is
what made me
spot
charming.
on. Okay. Compose yourself. Compose yourself.
Well, I can't fucking cheers because I'm fucking out.
I'll cheers for you. Now let me tell you something. One thing that has been great about knowing Claire and working with her these past few years is the following. If ever I was to quit alcohol, I have a friend to support me coming right back. She's there for me. She loves a party. And also, might I add, she never gets sloppy. If you've ever had a friend who's gotten sloppy on you, you know.
I have. I've had a few of those, and I am so pleased that I'm not one of them. I could not be more pleased. You know, normally I think we all know here, my life motto, so what? So what? Shit fucking happens.
I was
And
gonna
I don't
say,
want to be a fucking sloppy drunk. And I'm glad that I don't have to apply the so what philosophy to when I'm drinking. That's all I'm saying.
she does not get sloppy, but does that mean that you can safeguard your older brother in a room with her? No, it does not. It does not mean
Or
that.
your sister, or your non-binary sibling. Let's be honest. I don't
No,
discriminate.
anybody.
I like
Honestly, anybody that's human, it's a problem and it's real.
adults. And
Oh, adults. I'm sorry,
you know, I
adults.
gotta be
Oh,
attracted
yes.
to you. I'm not attracted to everyone. I think that's what people miss, Claire, is that they think, oh, well, she likes sex. She's attracted to everyone. No. Okay, I'm sorry, Avery.
Very
I don't wanna fuck
selective.
everybody. I just don't.
She's very selective, but she seems to have selected every single member of my family at different times.
Well, you're all cute. So what? You're cute. So what?
Except for, of course, me. That's fine. Let's talk about this. You need a drink, and I need to contemplate 10 sex positions based on animals.
Okay.
In the interim.
Well, I'm
so-
gonna let you do a little monologue about that. I'm just gonna pour a little more bourbon in here. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You know, so what? I'm gonna take a break from my own fucking show to get another fucking drink. So what?
One day we will have the budget for us to have production assistants. On that day, I shall rejoice to the high heavens. Until that day, well, we continue living the reality we live. Now, people always ask me, wow, which of you is the wilder one? And I say, well, obviously, if you go on first impressions alone, it would be Camilla. She's the crazy one. She's the outspoken one. But I'm the true freak. The truth is, good things come in quiet, mousy, really unobtrusive packages, and that's I. The reason is that when I choose to engage in sexual congress, I choose to do so in a sense of utter, total nihilistic abandon that the sentimental and most generous and humanistic Camilla is not capable of, as somebody who believes other humans are capable of kindness, and I certainly do not agree there. Now, let me move on. That was a quick synopsis of our relationship. I will move on now to sex positions based on animals. I will give you a spoiler of my top 5. Probably the only time I will recount my top 5. They are as follows. 1, the tree kangaroo. What is the tree kangaroo? He's got a long tail. End of sentence. 2, the echidna. The echidna is a mammal, very unexpectedly living in Australia. It lays eggs. What is that? It's like a nascent fertility, a vibrancy that comes to your sex life, and it punctuates it in a way that's really surprising and a rhythm that you don't expect given the outward package, and I really enjoy that kind of arrhythmia. I'll stop at 2. So.
Oh, I just want to say, Claire, I really enjoyed that. I think you're very vulnerable. Your sharing was beautiful. It was beautiful. I love the way you open yourself up to our audience there. And in fact, while I was making myself a nice little bourbon here, I got another question. Believe it or not, I got another question. This is from Jessica. Jessica is looking to get back into dating, but she's not sure what type of plants. Oh, maybe I would
A
love.
succulent.
I think I know Jessica. So
They can't all date your plant, you know. Camille.
well, don't be so shy. So what? They don't vibe with you. They vibe with you. They don't vibe. You know what? Claire, I'm going to be honest with you. One thing I found, okay, we're just going to leave. This is about Jess. One thing I found, okay, is that you got to put yourself out there. You got to get comfortable with rejection. Some people are going to like you. Some people are not going to fucking like you. Some people you're going to give your phone number to on Monday and it'll be Wednesday afternoon. They haven't called yet. But what do you do? What do you say? You just wait. You just fucking wait, because what else can you do? You get their phone number. You just hand them your phone number. That's how it goes.
When you give your phone number out, what you're doing is you are handing over, signed, sealed, and delivered, all of your sexual power. What you need to do is give that phone number over with the implicit assumption that I do not care if I never see you or hear from you again. You know why? My
Claire,
life is perfect.
no. I'm going to pause you right there. I didn't give anyone all my sexual power. That's what we
This is
differ.
where we dare to
You know what? Tradition here. I'm going to drink what we differ too. Because we're different people. Cheers to
We
that.
are different. Also, in terms of Jess, I would recommend a spider or an air plant. They're almost impossible to kill. They will love you forever. They require limited interaction, limited sunlight, limited watering, and yet they're there, slave-like, loving you, just wanting to care for you all the time.
You know, Jess, and not everyone's
I
gonna
wish I
like
had
it.
known.
So what? So what? You got an air plant. That's what you do. That's what you do. Listen to fucking Claire. So what? All right.
If you hate a plant, let it go.
Yeah, you know, it's a process of trial and error. I think really this has been a very sexual show today. I think it's been a very intimate show today. I think it's been a very relationship oriented show today. And on all those topics, I just want to be heard for a second. I want to say it's a process of trial and error. You got to put yourself out there. You might like it. You might not fucking like it. So what? Okay, you don't try, you don't fucking know. That's what my grandma used to say to me. You don't fucking try, Camilla, you don't fucking know. And I was like, Grandma, you know you're right. She'd be like, so what? I've heard so what.
But your grandmother was always talking about public speaking.
She had her agenda, I had mine. I'm not this is a form of public speaking, Claire, I'd say. No?
Oh, it's absolutely a form of public.
Okay, well then I would say
You're
Grandma would
certainly
be
right
very
about the
proud.
public speaking.
I'm not sure exactly the sex advice is what she had in mind, but my grandma was a very liberated woman.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to name at least your top 2 animals that are?
I will. I'm gonna start with number 1, the elephant. Long trunk, enough said. Okay.
Thank you.
Long trunk, enough said. Thank you very much. Number 2, the frog. Long tongue, enough said. Long tongue, enough said. That's why I wanted to meet you in the top 2.
Can I tell you another animal that I really enjoy as a sex position? It's called the bee, and it's because they do a luring dance. But when you come back and you follow them, what you get is a whole colony of friends, and that's great.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. No, I hadn't included that on my list, and I think I might have to revise it.
I love a polyamorous surprise.
I was thinking the giraffe, Claire, because it's got both a long trunk, so to speak, and a long tongue. Both.
But they're addicted to tobacco, so you have to decide what kind of home you want. I'll say this: I love a good rhinoceros sex position that's named after their plural collective noun form, the crash. They just boom. Doesn't matter. It's like a force of nature has hit you, and you do not know where it has come from.
Okay, well, next I'm going to come at you with one. It's very important to me. Okay, the porpoise. It's nice and slippery. I love a porpoise. It gets in there. It doesn't care. It's here. It's here for the water. It's here for the good time. We have a little water walks.
Curious animal. The tortoise, of course, is a slow burner. It's shy. It's subtle, it's sweet, but it feels like you're earning every single movement, and that's wonderful.
Yeah. You know, I feel that way about the sloth. I do. I do.
The sloth is more like you're earning nothing because the sloth does not give, does not seem to take. It just lies there.
Sometimes I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
When I get late, I'm fucking tired. So what?
I call that the supernova because you're just a singularity, you know? Ooh, nothing's coming in, nothing is coming out.
He's so smart. Cheers to you, Claire.
Thank you so much.
Smart. Okay, now before we wrap up here, I'm gonna need a couple more fucking animals from you.
Well, I enjoy the the butterfly and the caterpillar.
Those are good. I like the Komodo dragon. He's fucking angry. You know that Komodo dragon is big. He's angry.
One time, a Komodo dragon at the San Francisco Zoo bit off the toe of Sharon Stone's husband, who was foolhardy enough to wear an open-toed sandal into a dragon enclosure.
You know,
That's a true story.
life has consequences. So what?
What was crazy was the fear was not that his lost toe was a problem. It was the fact that they have bacteria in their mouth that causes necrotizing fasciitis, which is a form of cells eating themselves and it causes blackening, and then they just eat them. And so they had to amputate further down than they would have needed to stop the necrotization process. That's
you heard it here. Okay, this is why my co-host is the fucking wisest woman I fucking know. You heard it here because she knows about all this shit. Not only does she know about sex, but she knows about everything. Now,
I would
we have
consider it
another
my
question
life's
from
goal.
Howard. Howard has written in a question, okay? Oh, Harvard the horrible.
Oh, our friends from Oslo. How nice.
Oh, how nice. As someone who just doesn't have the energy to care about their countenance. Do you say countenance?
I can't say that I have the energy to care about my countenance very often.
Countenance. Okay, as someone who doesn't have the energy to care about the countenance, I wonder what is your best advice or worst on how to get the energy to put oneself out there? Important question.
Well, I think this one's obvious, right? If you're living in Scandinavia, you're very close to the Hadron Super Collider. That's where they're putting all the energy into very small spaces. I would just get proximate to that. That might just be me. I might be crazy. They've got some more like incredible God's particle sort of experiments going on all over the land of the eternal darkness, or whatever they call it when you get north of the Arctic Circle. Mm-hmm.
You know, also, I want to add to that. Yes, and I want to add to that. Okay. Now, number one, as I said earlier, Harvard, there is an ass for everything. You don't have to do shit different to your appearance to attract a mate. Someone out there loves you the way that you are, and someone out there is looking for you that way. And I'm gonna be honest with you, way more than one someone's. Okay, I say someone, you might think there's 7 billion people on this planet. So what? But you know what? There's more than that. There's one local to you. I can pretty much assure you of that. What
I was going to say,
if you're looking for the energy to care, maybe just go long enough without having sex. That really lights a fire under me.
I disagree. I say have as much frivolous and meaningless sex as you can to prepare yourself for the right one, and also to make sure that you've stockpiled enough power up for when it is time to expend it. Okay. I recommend also getting into new hobbies.
Let's cheers to disagreeing. I got another drink here. I got to drink it. I don't know what's happening in that cup. Could be empty.
Honestly, I have drunk more alcohol than probably would waylay a fully grown adult reindeer.
This might be like the time in Vegas where you left me alone after I had that fucking.
I left you alone after you insisted on taking the stage.
So what?
You sang cabaret for 3 hours. At a certain point, a person has to get to sleep.
Waiting for my voice to crack because I don't get to sing very often, and I was gonna sing it out. So what?
Look, I'm Jewish. I'm sorry, but I can't hear cabaret. It triggers me. I'm sorry. The Weimar Republic, in some ways, it triggers me. I'm sorry. Too much.
You know what? As your friend, I support you. You feeling triggered?
It's a very particular thing because they're innocent of all things.
My goodness, I broke them.
Oh my.
Don't worry. So what? Things break. Don't worry. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If you give up your power.
They're both broken. I only picked up one. So these are my new glasses.
Oh my God, you look so much more on my wavelength. Often I
Okay.
think this is a dynamic duo of knitters.
So
No.
what? So what? I break shit. So what? Okay, so what?
All right, in solidarity, I will not wear my glasses so that we do not look too nerdy. Oh no, I take it back. I can't see
Okay.
anything.
Number, I don't know what number I'm on, but number 5. Okay. You might think it's the Milo dog, someone you love, but it's not the Milo dog because that might be a little sick. Might be a little sick. You know, when I am looking for an animal to have sex with, it's the panther.
She does not mean that. Yeah,
It's the panther.
figuratively.
No, it's a position. It's a kind of person. It's they're just sleek in their sexual energy. It's not a body type. Okay, they're
Panther.
sleek in their sexual energy.
It's a very good choice. The panther works 80% of the time, 100% of the time. So
Multiple times. It works multiple times for me.
let me tell you, the next one on my list is, of course, the ever resourceful, often cannibalistic polar bear. They are the most vociferous of all blood sniffing animals. They make sharks look like babies in terms of their willingness to track down a trail of loose blood. Why? Climate change.
I know why you like them. I know why you like them. They eat the young because the young have no power. That's why.
That's right. That's exactly right. And then sometimes they will have their faces dripping from their balls for days at a time to be photographed with the faces of their young cubs. Don't Google that. It will disturb you forever.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Beth says something and she says, don't Google that. My best advice.
Strong advice.
the advice.
Strong advice.
Don't fucking do it. Okay. You might
Don't
be
do
thinking, so
it.
what? I'm gonna try it. And to that I say it's your own funeral. Okay. That's what I say. And now I think it's time for our outro and a little dance moment. What do you think?
So our dance moment typically consists of me doing an attempt at beatboxing in which my lovely co-host does an attempt at what looks like dancing. It's normally at this point a jerking or a rhythmic jerking, somewhat a rhythmic jerking of the hips
I call it the bird mating dance. I call it the swallow mating dance. Swallow might be a double entendre. I don't fucking know.
The fun game, if you're gambling at home, is to guess what she might knock over and break in the course of this swallow dance.
Okay, are we fucking ready? If you're not gonna beatbox, I'm just gonna drink.
Well, you already put your music on. I only beatbox to a sound of nothing. I am like Simon and Garfunkel.
Bye, audience. Bye bye. Until next time. So what? So fucking what?